Ready? Yeah. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm kind of used to a call and response in my line of work. So, good afternoon, everyone. The September 26, 2019 meeting of the Tennessee State University Board of Trustees is now called to order. I want to certainly acknowledge all of our deans and faculty who are present today and all of our cabinet members. This time I'm going to ask Mr. Terrence Izzard to lead us in our invocation today, if you'll be so kind, sir.
Shall we pray? Father, you're our ages, you're a rock throughout the ages, and you are our peace, and you're our strength. And we call upon you now as we continue to serve the young people of this community here at TSU. We thank you for students who are eager to learn. We thank you for teachers who are eager to teach. And we thank you for leaders who are eager to serve. Bless now our gathering. Lead and guide us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. As you would note in your board materials for today's board meeting, we have several items on the agenda today. And before we get to the agenda items, I first want to recognize Trustee Segman, who was elected by the Faculty Senate to serve another term as faculty trustee on our board. Congratulations. Trustee Segman, we look forward to continuing to work with you and carry out the governance role of this great institution. Thank you for your service again. This time we'll need a roll call. Secretary Pendleton, please call the roll.
Thank you, Chair Walker. Trustee Cole?
Present.
Trustee Kerbill?
Here.
Trustee Freeman?
Here.
Trustee Lewis?
Here.
Trustee Martin?
Here.
Trustee McKenzie?
Here.
Trustee Mitchell?
Here.
Trustee Sekman?
Here.
Trustee Walker?
Here.
Trustee Simpson?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The first action item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the June 13, 2019 board meeting. You have in your September 26, 2019 board materials the minutes for the June 13th board meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the June 13th board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Thank you. Any questions? Is there a second? Any discussion? All right. Thank you. After hearing none, that's been properly moved and second. The question on the motion to approve the minutes of the June 13th, 2019 board meeting as contained in the board materials for the September 26th board meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers? All right. The motion is approved. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the 2020 board meeting calendar. The board meeting, your board materials for today's board meeting contains the proposed meeting calendar for the board meetings in the calendar for 2020. They are March the 12th, June 18th, September 24th, and November 19th. Is there a motion to approve the 2020 board meeting calendar? Is there a second?
Second.
All right, properly moved. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. The question is on the motion to approve the 2020 board calendar meeting, and that's contained in the board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposers? The motion is approved. The next item on our agenda is the Audit Committee report. The chair recognizes the Audit Committee Chair, Trustee Cole, who will report on the actions and other items from today's Audit Committee meeting. Trustee Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Audit Committee met today to take action on one item, to receive a report on one item, and voted to go into executive session to discuss items deemed confidential under state law. The Audit Committee voted to recommend the full board the approval of the June 13, 2019 Audit Committee meeting minutes. The committee also received a report on completed internal audits. As I stated, the Audit Committee voted to recommend to the full board the approval of the minutes of the June 13, 2019 Audit Committee meeting. You have in your September 26, 2019 board materials the minutes for the June 13, 2019 meeting, Audit Committee meeting. On behalf of the Audit Committee, I move to approve the minutes of the June 13, 2019 Audit Committee meeting as contained in the board material for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. Is there a,
Well, is there a second? All right, any discussion? All right, hearing none. The question on the motion to approve the minutes for the June 13, 2019 Audit Committee meeting as contained in the board materials for September 26, 2019 board meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposers? All right, the motion is approved. Trustee
Chair
Cole.
Walker, this concludes the audit committee report.
All right, thank you so very, very much, Trustee Cole and the other members of the Audit Committee for your service on the Audit Committee. The next item on our agenda is the Finance and Budget Committee report. The Chair recognizes the Finance and Budget Committee Chair, Trustee Corbell, who will report on the actions and information items from today's Finance and Budget Committee hearing. Trustee Corbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Finance and Budget Committee met today to take action on 2 items and receive reports on 3 other items. The committee voted to recommend to the full board the approval of the minutes and then authorization for Dr. Glover to act to facilitate 2 real estate projects. The committee heard reports from President Glover and her team on the TSU's finance and budget, enrollment, and an update on the institution's enrollment and marketing student recruitment plans. As I stated earlier, the Budget and Finance Committee voted to recommend the full board approval of the minutes of June 13th. You have those in your board packs today. And on behalf of the Finance and Budget Committee, I move to approve the minutes of the June 13th, 2019 committee meeting as contained in your materials of September 26th.
Thank you very much. It's been moved and second. Any discussion? All right. Hearing none, the question is on the motion to approve the minutes of the June 13, 2019 Finance and Budget Committee meeting as contained in the board materials for September 26, 2019 board meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers? All right. The motion is therefore approved. Trustee Corbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Finance and Budget Committee also voted to recommend to the full board authorization for President Glover to facilitate 2 real estate projects. You have in your September 26, 2019 materials the information. On behalf of the Budget and Finance Committee, I've moved that we move to approve authorization for President Glover to facilitate 2 real estate projects as contained in your materials today.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. Any discussion on that? All right, hearing none, the question is on the motion to approve the authorization for President Glover to facilitate 2 real estate projects as contained in the board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers? All right, the motion is approved. Trustee Corbell.
Yeah, Chairman Walker, this concludes my report.
Thank you so very, very much. The next item on the agenda is the Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee report. The chair recognizes the Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Chair, Trustee Martin, who will report on the action items and other items from today's Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee meeting. Trustee Martin.
Thank you, Chair Walker. The Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee met today to consider and vote on 3 agenda items and receive information on 4 other agenda items. The Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee voted to recommend to the full board the approval of the June 13, 2019 Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee meeting minutes, the approval of an academic program modification involving the Certificate in Professional Chemistry, and the approval of an academic program name change in Family and Consumer Sciences. In addition to the action items, the Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee received reports on SACS accreditation, update, academic affairs, college and department advisory boards at TSU, and student affairs. As I stated earlier, the Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee voted to recommend to the full board the approval of the minutes of the June 13, 2019 Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee meeting. The minutes are contained in the board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. On behalf of the Academic Affairs Committee, I move to approve the minutes of the June 13, 2019 Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee meeting as contained in board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting.
All right, is there a second? Second. Thank you. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, the question is on the motion to approve the minutes of the June 13th, 2019 Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee meeting as contained in the board materials for September 26, 2019 board meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Opposers? All right. The motion is approved. Trustee Martin.
The Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee voted to recommend to the full board the approval of an academic program modification involving the Certificate in Professional Chemistry as contained in the board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. On behalf of the Academic Affairs Committee, I move to approve an academic program modification involving the Certificate in Professional Chemistry as contained in board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting.
Is there a second? All right, any discussion? All right, hearing none, the question is on the motion to approve the academic program modification involving the Certificate in Professional Chemistry as contained in the board materials for September 26, 2019 board meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the motion is approved. Trustee Martin.
The Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee voted to recommend to the full board the approval of an academic program name change from Fashion Merchandising to Fashion Design and Merchandising, concentration within the BS in Family and Consumer Sciences. Information pertaining to this agenda item is contained in board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. On behalf of the Academic Affairs Committee, I move to approve an academic program name change from Fashion Merchandising to Fashion Design and Merchandising, concentration within BS in Family and Consumer Sciences, as contained in board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, hearing none, the question is on the motion to approve the academic program name change from Fashion Merchandising to Fashion Design and Merchandising, concentration with the BS in Family and Consumer Science as contained in the board materials for September 26, 2019 board meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, any opposed? Motion is approved. Trustee Martin.
Chair Walker, that concludes the Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee report.
Thank you so much, Trustee Martin, and the other members of the Academic Affairs and Student Affairs Committee for your continued service to this very, very important committee. The next item on the agenda is the Executive Committee report. As the Chair of the Board and Chair of the Executive Committee, I will report the actions and information items from today's Executive Committee meeting. The Executive Committee met today to discuss and vote on the committee agenda items. The committee voted to recommend to the full board the approval of the June 13, 2019 Executive Committee meeting minutes. The Executive Committee also heard reports on the institution's strategic plan, the President's annual performance review process, the board's self-assessment process, and heard a report from Secretary Pendleton. As I stated, the Executive Committee voted to recommend to the full board the approval of the minutes of June 13, 2019 Executive Committee meeting. The Executive Committee minutes are contained in the board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. And on behalf of the Executive Committee, I move to approve the minutes of the June 13, 2019 Executive Committee meeting as contained in the board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, hearing none, the question is on the motion to approve the minutes of the June 13, 2019 Executive Committee meeting as contained in the board materials for the September 26, 2019 board meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion is approved. This concludes the Executive Committee report. The next item on the agenda is the President's report on SACSCOC. I like to call it all out, yes. Yes, SACSCOC item. And accreditation matters. The chair recognizes President Glover, who will provide information on or upon the designated report on the agenda items.
Thank you, Chairman Walker. This is a report of the SACSCOC. Okay, the update. TSU is preparing for the two required SACSCOC reports. There's a fifth-year monitoring report that's due on March 2nd, 2020. The SACSCOC visit based on that monitoring report will be March 31 through April 2nd of 2020. There's also the 10-year monitoring report, the 10-year report, which is the Destiny report that's due on September of 2020, and that visit will be the following year, March 22nd to 25th of 2021. And so this report has been delayed, our 10-year report has been delayed from 2020 to 2021. And TSU will still continue to work on this report that's due in 1 year from monitoring report, fifth-year monitoring report. The purpose of this report is that all institutions that are accredited by SAC-COC are required to undergo a review for reaffirmation of accreditation every 10 years. So they must demonstrate they're in compliance with all the principles of accreditation for SAC-COC, with SAC-COC policies. And then the fifth-year monitoring report is that each member institution must submit a fifth-year interim report on continued compliance with SAC-COC standards on the effects of our QEP on our student learning. So I want to just tell you there are several standards. There are 85 in total. If you look on this, look at the second one, where there are 2 pages of standards that we're doing. The 22 for the section A2A. Go back to the first chart. So you can see point number 8, I'm sorry, CR 8.1, A2A number 6, that's on student outcomes. That's what we're doing now in the fifth-year report. Move forward again. Now, so what occurred pertaining to TSU? The SAC-COC Board of Directors placed TSU on probation in June because TSU was not able to demonstrate to them that we were in complete compliance with one aspect of one of the 25 accreditation standards for standard 8.2A, and that is identification and assessment of expected outcomes and evidence to show that the results were used to improve student learning outcomes. So the point of clarity, TSU remains fully accredited, and we're confident that we have the plan of action to remedy this deficiency that was cited, and the probationary status will then be removed. So this just shows what you have to do, the expected outcomes, your assessment, the criteria for success, and then we go through this the whole cycle, then showing how the results were used to make improvements. So this, I won't go through each of these, but it shows there were several meetings with stakeholders and how we communicate with the stakeholders starting from June over to the alumni, to the students, to the faculty, to the staff, to the chairs of departments. We've met with the governor. We've gone to Atlanta to meet with SAC-COC. Again, the department chairs, again, just employees in the Office of Admissions since they're the first base. And then we just met with, this just goes to show all the various parties, constituents that we have been meeting with since this June to make sure that we kept everybody in the loop. We kept all the stakeholders informed, especially the board, especially the faculty, the staff, the alumni, and the students, to make sure they knew where we were at all times, that we were, and how we were going to get out of this. So since June, we've been speaking with just board members. We've been speaking with Dr. Silver and Associates, Dr. Silver from Silver and Associates. We've been speaking with various legislators and others whose names are not mentioned. So just points to know, we did not lose accreditation. We remain full accredited, and we will not lose our accreditation as long as the faculty works together to get this done. We will get this done. So we were placed on probation because we did not meet one part of one of the required standards, and there, again, there are 25 standards. This pertains to TSU presenting the proper documentation, the proper evidence to support the information that we submitted in our report. Probation will be lifted when TSU submits the additional information and is accepted by the accrediting body. So the plan of action moving forward, we're going to do that. The documentation required, we've already started to work on it. It largely relates to just putting together information to support some of the things that we put in our report. Department chairs are leading this, and I can tell they're doing a great job putting the information together. So we have been meeting with SAC-COC in Atlanta. We've met with them more than once in Atlanta, but on the phone. And so we've discussed the plan of action that we're developing, and they are in agreement with it. And we've just done several things. We've retained the firm of Silver and Associates. THAC has engaged on our behalf a former chancellor of UT Martin to assist us. Then we've hired a full-time director of assessment and accreditation to guide this process internally. So we will get this done. We were 100% confident that TSU will do all that's required to prepare the documentation and submit the documentation that is necessary to remove us from this probationary status. We're fixing this, and we're fixing it now. So that is report on the SACS accreditation, the SACS COC update. And I'll come back later with the rest of the President's report.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that clarity and understanding. And now we're very excited about the collaboration between Tennessee State and Apple. And so, Madam President, if you would give us an update on that.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I have asked Dr. Robbie Melton if she would do a brief report. She was on TV the other day. She did a very just a great presentation on Channel 2. So we're asking her, since she's spearheading this Apple project, if she would do a presentation to the board today. Thank you, Dr. Melton.
Thank you, Board Chair, Board members, Dr. Glover. And I have some others, and I have a big voice, and I have some others here, Dr. Mosley, Dr. Hartgrove, IT, Tim, on behalf of TSU and the Apple partnership. I'm here to share with you that TSU has been recognized and designated as the Smart National Innovation Center for the HBCUs. We have the charge of in-servicing them on everyone can code and everyone can create. So if you would I'm gonna just step out a little so you can see me. I'm coded down. Everything from earrings all the way to shoes. This is the new coding for everyone. On behalf of the Computer Science Department, Dr. Segment and his staff, and we have partnerships from K-12 Metro, Shelby County, and Clarksville, as well as Modlo for workforce. This is the new coding. I'm wearing for you my coded computer earrings, Raspberry Pi, even coded fingernails. On this end, I have coded nano nails where I can operate equipment. On this side, on behalf of MIT, I have on coded nail polish. In other words, if I'm out and I stick my hand into any liquid, if it turns green, it indicates drugs. This is new coding for everyone. That's why we are compassionate and we are dedicated to bring coding to the entire TSU community. Again, even my shirt is a biology shirt. If you hold your device over me, you will see a heart come out. You will see lungs. These are your new hospital clothes coming, as far as shoes. So ladies and gentlemen, and all my colleagues, on behalf of this partnership, life is good. So with that, I just have to share with you, on behalf of the Lawson community, in which we had an HBCU partnership. Last night at 9 o'clock, we were talking about coded items. Here is a coded spoon and fork. And again, because everything is coded, there is a lady watching us today who has Parkinson's disease. And we were able to share with us, on behalf of our Smart Center, your brand new Parkinson utilities, spoon, fork, knife, that has changed lives and will change her. So with that, everyone, that's what this is all about. And we started out with a very introductory course regarding the impact. This summer, we had 15 of our HBCUs to come and to design prototypes of apps. From that, we have 4 that we plan to develop. One happens to be TSU parking. So with that, we're looking for the students to pathway into our STEM programs, from engineering, computer science, math, etc. So with our next slide, again, with Everyone Can Code, we receive resources from Apple, from scholarships, equipment where all of our 8 colleges will receive a mobile cart, as well as the next slide, please. As well as it comes up, our HBCU, and if we could go to that other slide, and I'm gonna code that too. This fall, we had over 1,000 of our stakeholders to register for the coding class, with ages from 16 to 80 plus, as they said. We have them on ground, online. Listen, 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 in the evening, but the beauty is empowerment of our community to look at coding and the impact, knowing this is going to be a smart city.
Yeah.
So with that, I just want to thank you all. I would like to acknowledge Dr. Glover, who really had to champion this, and then all of us who had to jump in and make this happen. So life is good, and just want to end with, if you have coding in terms of clothes, these are your smart PJs that are coming up that will sing lullabies to babies and read stories. All the way to, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking coding for preschoolers. So if we're starting at the preschool level, we have to empower our faculty, staff, alumni, and community. So I thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so very, very much, Dr. Melton. That is most exciting. And yes, and being the father of a 20-month-old, I know I'm not, Lawrence should take anything over $50, but those pajamas would really bless me right now. Thank you. Yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you so much. And that segment you're the part is amazing. Technology is so advanced, and TSU is at ground zero with it. It's very, very exciting. Very, very exciting what's happening. So, President Glover, next item on the agenda is your report.
Thank you. Again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this, to do the President's report about what's happening at TSU. So we, as Dr. Melton said, just as a piggyback on what she is saying, and everybody, this Apple partnership is just so fantastic. We're so happy to be selected as the HBCU to train others about coding and creating. I was one of those 15 HBCU presidents and 15 HBCU representatives who attended the academy. And it's not about coding like C++ or COBOL. It's solving problems with coding. And my problem, they asked me, well, there were several, each president had to select a problem. So mine was parking. I said, let's see if you can solve a parking problem. So it's about app designing. They designed an app that would tell you the next parking space that's available. If you're in the downtown campus, on the main campus, it'll tell you parking lot A, parking space 50 is available. By the time you get there, somebody beats you to it. It tells you the next one is parking 61. I mean, it just goes, it's an app, and they wrote that app in 1 week. And so everybody can code, everybody can create. I mean, it's real, it's in real time. Because we said there are 3 R's, then there's coding. It's a new language of communication. So we're very happy to have this partnership with Apple and establishing this Center for Smart Technology. We're going to try to make sure we get there finished sometime. I told them by October 1st we'd have it done. And we're the first HBCU that Apple has partnered with on this level, on this scale. So we're very appreciative of that. So we are going to train HBCU, their faculty, employees, and all the community participants. We just thought that if everybody else is being trained, why not at least offer to our own community, our own employees, and our own alumni? So that's how the number has grown to be 800, and so that we were talking today in the thousands. So look at Tim Cook was said, the CEO of Apple said, anything is possible when people come together with a shared vision. Thank you to TSU. This is what he tweeted this out nationally for your leadership and enthusiasm in bringing code into your community, HBCUs nationwide. And that got so many likes, and it was retweeted so many times, and we got so many phone calls. So that was really it's just a great partnership. We're very appreciative of that. We also have a partnership with Amazon. Amazon endowed a computer science professor in the amount of $800,000, and we're working on another $200,000 for student scholarships. We're working with Amazon because the objective is to enhance the STEM talent pipeline. And so they're going to bring their logistics group right here to Nashville. And that's why it's important for TSU to be a part of this Amazon initiative, and especially since they open an operation, the Operations Center of Excellence right downtown in Nashville, literally next door to our incubation center. So we're going to assist in providing high-level skilled employees for the Amazon Operations Center. Then we made the academic partnerships. Nashville State, Modelo State, Southwest Community College, Volunteer State Community College, Lawson Community College, and the Metro Nashville Public Schools, and the Shelby County, the Memphis Public Schools, and then Clarksville, the Montgomery County Public Schools. So that's what we're doing, the dual enrollment. Those three schools doing dual enrollment at the high school level, and then we have those at the college level. So we're really excited about that. Okay. So let's move now to recruitment and enrollment. As you can see, I went back to 2012. I thought we were doing the time that I first arrived. And so the first 3 years, we had an increase in enrollment. And then year 2015, we started, 2015, 2016, we had the declines. We started looking at, I think it's 16, 17. Yeah, 16, we started looking at the Tennessee Promise, and that's when we had the shake-up with the student loans, and parents couldn't borrow money, send folks to school, send students to school. So we had a decline for those 2 years, and then we raised our admission standards, and that had an effect on lowering our enrollment. So we're looking at that. So this year our enrollment did come up. We had some discussion about there were a lot of the FTEs are not there yet, but we're still getting there. So the enrollment numbers have improved, and so we have some strategies that we're looking to keep our enrollment up. So, we some strategies that we hope that we can look at some things, the certificate programs, the online and distance learning program, distance education, dual enrollment. Then we're going to focus specifically on some various populations, diverse populations, the community college and transfer students. We're looking at that population, non-traditional students, adult learners, the students who have stopped out, and we're readmitting them. And we have a campaign to just readmit them, the veterans and the military students, Hispanic population, the international population. We want to grow various populations. And then we have a critical emphasis on in-state students and 250-mile radius students. We know that it's not cheap to go to college. It's not cheap to go to TSU. So we have a focus on in-state students, and then those who can get the 250-mile radius scholarships. We have some focus on that. And then we have developed our 3-year enrollment and recruitment strategic plan that we're going to update as soon as we get our overall strategic plan. It's going to fit into that plan. So we have started already recruitment activities for this year. So we want to start earlier with our recruitment and offering our scholarships to students. We want to do it much earlier than we did last year. So we want to lose out on students who have choices. So we developed some internal marketing strategies, geofencing, social media, the content marketing, search engine optimization. So we have to reach the students at their level, the way they want to receive information. We'd be prepared to share it with them in that vein. And we've engaged in extensive campaigns to just contact students who have a 3.0 or higher, who've been accepted to TSU, and just encourage them to attend TSU. Simply because they got accepted to TSU doesn't mean they're going to come here, because they get accepted to other schools also. So we want to make sure we can go after the students who have a 3.0 or higher, because that's going to be that's our foundation base for our good students. And then we're looking at joining the Common Black College Application Initiative, so that a student pays $35 one time and gets to apply to all the schools top 4 on this list, but with access to a database that will have probably 20 to 22, 25,000 students. We have access to far more students by doing this Common Black College and Application Initiative, which TSU will engage in that one. And then we're engaging in just more direct communication, more frequent communication with our prospective students. Again, we're using social media largely to communicate. They want to ensure that students are informed, as I said earlier, of their scholarships and their financial aid offers much earlier in the process. We want to start as early as the first of the year, immediately after the first of the year, when we start getting applications in, because the good students apply before the end of the year, and then we want to make sure we can accommodate them much earlier in the process. And just having strategic meetings across the state with superintendents and principals and counselors and faculty members at the high school level to beef up our enrollment and get more students interested in coming to TSU. So let's turn to students now. So the GPAs and the ACT. Well, the ACTs have not really, went from 17.9 to 18.7 in 2017 to 18.9 last year. This year is 18.8. So we want to cross that 19 threshold, even though that's lower than what we want to do. We want to shoot for 21, but we're hovering just under 19 now. For the GPA, fall of 2016, we were 2.8. Fall of 2017, we're 3.07. Fall last year, we were 3.10. And for this fall, the incoming freshman, the GPA was 3.14. So we're going up on the GPA. So we've told, in fact, we said if students who have 3.2 or above, the ACT is not as important to us, because we know certain populations don't perform well on tests, but we really focus in on the GPA. And then the students who graduated. This is not the graduation rate, this is the number of students who graduated. If you look at last year, we graduated 1,614 students from summer to last spring. So that number is the highest that we've done, I think, ever, the graduating students. For incoming first-year students, 1,417 students. This fall class is the second largest incoming class. We had about over 1,200 students that were immediately out of high school. Then we had another 200 that were first-year transfer, with just a few hours, or had gone through summers, but the total make up 1,417. And the good news is 61% of these students had GPAs of 3.0 or above. So we're trying to raise the bar academically for the new students who come in. If you can see, those who have 4.0 or above are 5% of the students, but 3.5 to 4 were 20% of them. And then from 3 to 3.9, there were 36% of our students. Then the 275, 299, we still got 16% of those, and 2.5, 16% of those. And less than 2.5, we got 7%. So we want to make that lower than 7%, but that's the makeup of our class this year. So we're happy we had so many that did so well. So a few things about student activities. Four students accomplished the CBC Congressional Black Caucus annual weekend, participated in HBCU Brain Trust. It was a summit that's happened every year. This is the first year we've had our students attend, and they were outstanding. They participated. They were very analytical. They went through their projects. They were just I was just so proud of them. I was at one of the sessions with them, and they were just outstanding. And then we have the students participated in interns at the end of last year at the Tennessee State Legislature. We had 17 students. That was a very high number. We were proud of those. And then last year, we had 20 new student organizations that were established. So now we have 79 student organizations. So when students say that we don't have a lot to do, we can say, well, you have 79 organizations. You can join one of those. And so these are not, we have the 9 Greek-led organizations that are all active on campus. But these are 20 new organizations that have been started, and they're on campus for this fall, too. And so with career development, they've been working with enterprise systems to increase the number of students receiving employment opportunities in the STEM area. I brag on the student for computer science who got $160,000 or so. I mean, he just last year. So we have students that are getting some very good salaries. We're gonna beef it up some more, but we hired a new director of the Career Development Center, and so we're expecting some great things out of the Career Development Center. So another thing was that all the residence halls are equipped now with 24-hour surveillance. And then we have for the students to help our retention, we let students who were going to attend the Maymester. We allowed them free housing for students that enrolled in Maymester. And that was a 75% increase in our Maymester students. That definitely helps our retention. So now let's talk just a moment, 3 things about our student talent. New Direction Gospel Choir. At first I had taken this out, but I thought I'd put it back in. They've just been so amazing. I don't know if you all watched the show. They were featured on BET's hit show Sunday Best, and they were just amazing. They were just incredible. That's, for those who don't watch that, it's just a reality television gospel music show. And so they also rehearsed at Tyler Perry's studio in Atlanta. So I didn't make it to that, but I understand they had an amazing time. And then the Aristocratic Bands, I think I've told you, I read about NFL Draft Day and all the coverage we got from that, and we still get hits on that, and we're in a conversation about that. And then last Monday night, the Aristocratic Bands also, they were on national TV when they played the Atlanta Falcons game. On national TV on the Monday Night Football. And so we're just proud of the student talent. Okay, Division of Graduate and Professional Studies, switching over back to the academic part of it. We want to, Dr. Melton, who just presented, Dean of the Graduate School, and the Graduate School just done some phenomenal things as far as changing the whole landscape of the graduate school. The enrollment in the graduate school increased for the first time ever. For taking a full load, one course, the graduate school has the enrollment has increased in the graduate school. And so they've just enhanced the professionalism, the training, and so we're pleased with the direction in which this headed. Keep going. So budget and finances, I want to say just a few things. The role of the budget and the finance area, they've done precisely what they were supposed to do. Ensure that TSU remains in sound financial condition and in compliance with all the university's the university rules, the federal, state, and local regulations. That's overall. And we will make sure that the actual revenue is in line with our projections, and that's where we are. Do we have money? No. But are we sound financial condition? Yes. So we began the process of developing a 3-year fiscal plan to help ensure that we remain financially stable and that our sustainability is maintained. So we just continue to address the budget issues to support the realignment of our revenue and expenses. We've implemented some things to help our students. We put in, for students with a balance of $2,000 or less, they can have a deferred payment plan without requiring a down payment. Those with over $2,000, they must pay half of it and then get on a payment plan. And then we've modified the payment policy to allow an additional week for students to make their full payment and make arrangements from being purged from our system. Then there was some discussion this morning about the purge policy and the purge activity, that we're going to just take us even some more a deeper dive with that look. So and then we've completed several maintenance projects. We have others that are still in process. I'm worried about campus safety. This year, TSU was in the top 8% of the safest colleges and universities in the nation. So we were proud to get that statistic, and the fact that overall crime is down on campus. It's declined by 36% in drug-related offenses, and just declined overall. So we're pleased that our chief of police has stayed the course in ensuring that the crime is down. And in fact, our chief of police was honored for an award for administrative excellence this year. So we applaud him for that. We just provided some specialized and executive training for our officers to make sure they're on target to keep our campus safe. And then we just continued with our Tiger Patrol. Students like that. They're part of Tiger Patrol. They assist the TSU police officers in maintaining our safety features. So TSU students enroll in this, and they get paid for this, and it's called our Tiger Patrol initiative, and it's going quite well. And then the Office of Emergency Management is doing some things also. They've teamed up with the National Guard They had their weapons demonstration on campus, and I went over there too, and at the stakeout, it was quite amazing. And then we're having training across the campus to ensure that we're ready in case something happens. We pray that it doesn't. We have to be prepared for in case there's an active shooter, there's a hurricane, any kind of disaster. We have emergency management department to take care of that. And then customer service. We've had to expand our emphasis on customer service. We've asked each division that they be retrained in customer service during this academic year. We're developing a plan to address the challenges that's been communicated to the TSU leadership and to the board members regarding students, regarding financial aid, just regarding customer service in general. So that is one aspect of our TSU we must get under control. And so we have a plan to tackle our customer service. Public relations and communications, we've been primarily focused on just promoting our accomplishments and improving our online student recruitment. And we've experienced an increase in the local and national positive media coverage. So we try to note when there's some positive coverage, and it has increased over last year. And the touching story about Tupac Mosley coming to TSU captured local and national headlines. That's not the only one, it's just one I'm citing today. And we unveiled a sign, the TSU signs in Titan Stadium last, I guess, 3 weeks ago now. We have 4 signs at the stadium, Titan Stadium. And then we won the campaign of the year, the School of the Year campaign, won first place, Retool Your School campaign. We were pleased with that. And then our social media following has increased. We've increased about almost 29% of people who are following us has combined with Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I think it's one more. Then the national news stories. We just had some national news stories of success. And so we're trying to improve in the local media and improve in the national media. And so in April, May, and June, we had 5 stories that, for instance, I was saying that April, May, and June, there were 4 consecutive months that we were in. It was March, April, May, and June. And then in March, the College of Engineering received $1 million grant, was picked up by the Associated Press. That's not the only grant that we received. This is the one that picked up by national news. In April, the Aristocratic Bands performing the NFL Draft, that was picked up by ESPN and some other national outlets. In May, Reverend Sharpton, Dr. Dyson as commencement speakers, are both are national known figures. They were picked up, and Tupac Mosley, again, coming to TSU, was picked up by AP, by CNN, MSNBC, and in Essence Magazine. And in June, the governor's $2 million to TSU and was picked up, and an agriculture professional getting a grant also were picked up by Associated Press. And then also MSNBC, in June, I was interviewed on MSNBC by Reverend Sharpton, talking about the significance of HBCUs. So we're getting in the national press, and so we're pleased with that. Is that it? So that's it, and I thank you for allowing me an opportunity to present what's happened at TSU, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you so much, Madam President. And of course, that's quite a lot. And of course, we are very excited again about the direction that the university is headed and all the wonderful positive things that we're hearing. And of course, again, I want to always, as I do, thank each one of the board members for your service. I know that this is a lot of work. Much of what you see here, those of you that are watching, is really just the crescendo of all the robust work that took place earlier today. Yes, and a few of us are, I think eventually every male board member will start looking like me, Obi and I, but we're good. But we're grateful, and thank you all so much. It's just a joy to serve this board, and at this moment, if there's any additional business before us, I will actually entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
All right, the question is on the motion to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposers, thank all of you so much. We are adjourned.